Samantha with Mayfair Lakeshore. I'm one of the Pilates instructors here, and I'm going to walk you through some of the exercises that you would see in a reformer class today, some of the essential exercises. So I'm going to go ahead and get started by taking a seat and lying down on my back. Often I like to start class in a lying down position with what we call footwork. So I'm going to bring my heels up to the foot bar here, placing my hands down flat beside me. And I'm going to think about maintaining a nice neutral spine and neutral pelvis. So that means I'm going to maintain the nice natural curves of my spine as I'm going to be doing my footwork here. So pressing equally through both heels, I'm going to extend my legs, squeezing the muscle in towards the bone. So actively engaging at the top of the extended leg, and then resisting the spring tension back down. And pressing out, inhale, and exhale as I come back in. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, thinking about narrowing through the waist as I'm exhaling to help engage those deep core muscles. You're going to be hearing the word core a lot as we continue on. Pressing out, and if I might do 8 to 10 of these in a regular class, I'm going to stay out, come halfway in, and I'm going to just do little 1-inch pulses up and down, getting into the belly of that muscle. Continuing to use my breath. Good. Thinking about the alignment of the hip, knee, and ankle, so drawing a straight line down through the center of the leg. Inhaling on the way out, and exhaling, resisting back in. I'm going to do a couple of different variations now. So I'm lowering my feet so that the balls of my feet are pressing on the foot bar, and I'm going to be keeping my heels lifted nice and high, like I'm wearing a high-heeled shoe. All right, so now this is giving extra work to the ankle stability, making sure that my weight isn't rolling towards the outside of the foot, the baby toe, but that the weight is coming straight between the first and second toe here, keeping the heels lifted high, staying out, coming halfway down, and again that 1-inch pulse, up, down, using the breath, narrowing through the waist, keeping stability in the pelvis here. Good. And inhaling all the way out, exhaling, bringing it all the way in. Turning out now so that my heels are together and my toes are apart. I'm going to be squeezing, zipping up my inner thighs, pressing my heels together to feel the connection between the heel all the way up to the pubic bone here. Inner thighs engaged. We're out externally rotated here, so I'm feeling a little bit more work in the outer thigh and glute, as well as the inner thigh as I stretch my legs. Good. Continuing to breathe. Good. We're going to do our little midway pulses, squeezing those heels together. Good. Starting to feel a little bit warm in the legs now. And inhale out. And exhale all the way in. I'm going to bring the feet back to parallel. I'm going to press all the way out, and now I'm going to give myself a nice calf stretch here. So heels are going to go underneath the bar, and inhaling out, exhaling down. Narrowing through that waist the whole time, being careful not to splay the ribs. So soft chest, soft neck and shoulders. Now I'm going to just alternate heels going under the bar and pressing up. Feels really nice for a calf stretch, but we are again working on ankle strengthening work here. And of course, hip stability. So I'm looking here to stabilize the hips, making sure there's no rocking and rolling happening here, keeping everything nice and stable, and moving one leg at a time. Pressing out and coming all the way back in. So that's an example of some footwork that we might start off a class with to help get us nice and warm. We're going to move on to another exercise, which we call mid-back series. I'm just going to hold on to my straps here. So I'm going to just shimmy my shoulders away from the shoulder rest because I am going to be coming up into an ab curl. So again, this would be an exercise that I might introduce after a few classes. We want to make sure that the client is able to stabilize through the hips. We're keeping a nice neutral pelvis here, and that the client has enough abdominal strength and core strength to keep the legs lifted in this tabletop position. All right, so we're going to be actively working isometrically working the hip flexors here, and of course all the low abdominals just by holding the legs in this tabletop position. Then we're gonna add on some upper body work. So I'm gonna take a nice deep inhale to stay. As I exhale, I'm going to drop the chin slightly, extending the back of the neck. First, I almost forgot, we gotta change the spring tension, otherwise that would be too hard for me to come up. So I'm onto one spring now, here we go. Legs to tabletop, taking a deep inhale, exhaling, pressing all the way up. So now I have the added resistance of the straps trying to pull me back down. So this makes it even more intense for an abdominal exercise, especially if we're going to be staying up and holding this isometrically. So here I am holding my ab curl, and now I'm going to do some leg work with the lower half. I'm going to start with my single leg stretch, extending one leg at a time. Paying attention to the exhales, making sure that on each exhale, I'm really engaging the core and exhaling all of the air out. Yeah, so I might do some of these in class. Next, I'm going to try to extend both legs out and then pull it back into tabletop. Extend both legs and pull it in. One more like that. Staying here, maybe I'll try a little bit of scissors with straight legs. Yes, so reaching like laser beams out of those toes. Don't forget, I'm still holding my upper body in my ab curl. What tends to happen here is the head starts to get heavy and we start to lose our neck here. So we want to make sure that we're continuing to draw the chin down towards the chest. Still reaching my fingertips towards the wall in front of me, and shoulders are going to be away from the ears. Maybe I can do another variation with both legs straight. Maybe I can turn out and do some beats. There's all kinds of variations that we can do for that little ab series. Bringing it back down. Good. Next, I'm going to show you a little bit of mid-back work for the back. I'm just going to grab a box here. And I'm going to be sitting, I'm on one spring. This is good. So I'm going to keep it on one spring tension, one weight. All right, so some seated exercises. What's really nice about having the use of the box is great for people who maybe aren't as stable, maybe don't have as much balance to be able to sit or kneel, where we do a lot of these exercises kneeling. So this is a wonderful option for those who need a little bit more stability and are more comfortable working in a seated position. Okay, so I'm going to hold on to my smaller strap here, and I'm going to try sitting up nice and tall. So again, Pilates, we talk a lot about the alignment, yes? Thinking about lengthening through the top of the head up towards the ceiling, making sure that the shoulders and ribs and hips are in a nice alignment. Putting on our imaginary belt and narrowing through the waist, thinking about our breath. Inhale. As we exhale, I'm going to press the palms back behind me and then release. And again, pressing back, keeping the ribs engaged here. So I'm trying not to splay my ribs. Yes, you see this? I'm trying to keep the ribs drawn in as my arms go back and release. And again, pressing back. So this is a long arm tricep extension here. And press to stay. Maybe I'll keep my elbows back there and do a little variation for tricep press here. Bending and stretching the lower arm here. Thinking about posture, lengthening the spine. And release. I'm just doing a little bit here for time's sake. Maybe we would do 8 to 10 of those in a regular class. I'm going to move on to a little bit more of a mid-back exercise here with open elbows. So I've got the straps around my elbows. Once again, lifting up nice and tall through the spine. And I'm going to think about opening the elbows wide to the side of the room. And then release. pressing back, squeezing between those shoulder blades, and release. And again, pressing back. Really wonderful for strengthening right through the mid-back. And release. Yes, I might continue with 8 to 10 of those in a class as well. Last one, we can do a little bit of rowing perhaps. So I'm going to just choke up on my straps a little bit here. And from here, I can just do an easy row. Yeah, so again, thinking about those shoulder blades being nice and flat, coming in towards one another here, squeezing and holding, and release. Squeezing and holding, and release. Wonderful work for all the people that are sitting at their desks in front of their computers all day. Yes, we need to really think about the back body and strengthening all the muscles through the back. I'm just going to cross the straps, and maybe I'll just do one arm at a time. I can keep my focus forward, doing some single arm work here, or perhaps I can incorporate the rest of the spine and do a little look over my shoulder, incorporating some rotation of the spine as well. Yes? Back, really good for your golfers out there, working on rotational mobility and support. So as you're rotating, you're thinking about engaging through the abdominals and lengthening the spine as you're rotating. Good. I'm going to put those straps away. So I hope that some of these exercises have informed you. Maybe you found out something you didn't about the Pilates Reformer. And if you have any questions, feel free to email Sabine at Mayfair Lakeshore to get in touch with either myself or Amy, who teach Pilates here.